Web3 gaming made promises it couldn't keep, 2 tokens blundered their launches today, and a massive expose on a studio that raised $100 million. Today's Gaming Daily is going to be a bit spicy, presented by Yield Guild Games, the official guild of Gaming Daily. Web3 gaming made promises it couldn't keep. That's the title of Peyton's latest article, and it hits hard. Like many of us, he bought into the dream of owning your own items, trading freely, and earning while playing. But Peyton says what we got instead were on-chain receipts, speculative assets, and builders buried under promises of forever utility. He says scarcity without utility is just noise, and a rug dressed up as a roadmap. We launched promises, not products, he says. Still though, Peyton's not giving up, and neither am I. He says players want ownership, but it just needs to feel real. He closed with this possible lesson. He says we tried to put blockchain on the stage with graphics, gameplay, and game loops, but it really should have shared the stage with AWS APIs and account management. Big respect for his honesty and thought leadership here, and you should definitely go give this a read. $18 million is gone. This is the core of a thread from 2.0, breaking down the collapse of their reboot and GG ecosystem. The thread really calls out Pixel Vault and Gfunk for their failure and potential malfeasance. Star Platinum also covered the story, tracing their journey from a $100 million raise to their complete collapse. It's all quite serious. Someone in the comments even asked if Gfunk would go to jail, which the answer is probably no, but this was tough to read and I wasn't too familiar with this story and I kind of missed the whole saga, but I do remember seeing their battle plan game about a year ago and it looked pretty cool, but these latest allegations are just wild and sad to see. Definitely go check out both threads in full because they're quite juicy. OOO Games launched their OOO token today and even the CEO said it didn't go as planned. The team raised about 12,000 AVAX or about $200,000 and only put $50,000 into the liquidity pool. Free-sale buyers invested at a $6 million FDV and investors at a $12 million FDV, and at the time of this recording, the FDV is just under $400,000. On launch, the price dropped pretty fast with a high float and tons of early sell pressure. Their co-founder Isidro Quintana acknowledged that some early investors may be disappointed and says he's going to give it his all to drive value back to the token. I'm usually a pretty forgiving person, but I don't know about you guys, I'm so tired of these terrible launches, and to be honest, I thought them publicly advertising their pre-sale was wild and just the audacity. I think they should refund the pre-sellers because I can't see any reason why anyone would continue to risk their hard-earned money on these unproven projects right now. Society also launched their XO token today, and surprise, it didn't go that smooth. The community had a ton of difficulty claiming their airdrops. Society cited massive traffic and a DDoS style attack that forced them to pause their claims. They also started a manual distribution and said all the allocations were safe. To their credit, they made a follow-up post and deeply apologized for the inconvenience and said that they're preparing an additional compensation plan. It sounds like a tough spot for them, and I do believe that they mean well and will try to make things right. CryptoStash dropped a thread explaining why off-the-grid nodes are down 30 to 60%, and as an owner of one of these nodes, I wish I didn't know that. Stash says that the price is down because of confusion over how the node rewards actually work, early holders panicking post-TGE, and a long delay in the marketplace integration, but he argues that selling now would be a massive mistake, saying that rewards will ramp up with more players and that a marketing push before their full launch could change everything. Shout out to Stash on a really great thread, but RIP to my bags. Otherside just dropped a big update on their games in progress, with Bathroom Blitz coming in July and Otherside Outbreak in August. Bathroom Blitz is the one that I'm most excited for. It's an 8v8 deathmatch shooter set inside the Bored Ape Yacht Club bathroom. Outbreak looks more like an open world, but still pretty good. Both games will stay live for a couple of weeks after their launch, and you'll start earning Voyager XP that'll be used later in their ecosystem. Check out their thread for some cool demo videos and more updates from the team. Spekter Games just raised $5 million for their Telegram-based roguelite Spekter Agency. It may be one of the first ever Web3 roguelites on Telegram with arcade-style Vampire Survivors-inspired gameplay. I love the thesis and still believe that we could see a breakout game on Telegram. The studio founder Taehoon Kim agrees, citing this as his inspiration to jump back into the arena. Taehoon was previously at Enway and worked on Rec League, and this GamesBeat article gives more insight into what happened there. Taehoon says that the game was good, but that there was a lot of friction, and that stopped Rec League from really taking off, and he left the company at the end of 2023, so hopefully things can go a lot better with Spekter Games. And in our last story, Ronin's new gacha game is live. Jin's Fortune Spin, which is a really cool name, lets you spend about 15 RON or about $6 or $10 in USDC per spin for a shot at Pixel's Farmland, Origin Axes, Ronkies, and more. You can play it directly on the Ronin Marketplace, and full details are up on their blog, so good luck and happy spinning. Today's video is brought to you by Yield Guild Games, the official guild partner of Gaming Daily. Join us tomorrow in the Lowland Discord at 2 p.m. UTC or about 11 a.m. EST for a special Friday game night with YGG. We'll be playing their hit game Lowland with epic prizes including in-game rolls for everyone and a $500 prize prize pool. The more players who join, the bigger the rewards. But don't forget, YGG Gap Season 10 is still live. You can discover new games, complete quests, and earn rewards. This season is all about empowering on-chain guilds and unlocking opportunities for gamers, learners, and creators across Web3. So head over to yieldguild.io/gap and start your quests and games today. And that's going to do it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching, especially if you made it this far and tuned in. I so appreciate you guys. We'll be back tomorrow with the last Gaming Daily video of the week. So until then, stay humble and keep dreaming. I'll talk to you then. Peace!